What's up, everybody of YouTube? It's Shady XIXV here, part of One Stop Bids, and today, something I forgot about that I didn't even mention in any of my posts, if you guys have seen them. I totally forgot that Treyarch and Activision were dropping a patch, 1.07 patch for Black Ops Cold War. So, welcome to the first gaming vid. I guess patch notes vid. Side note, I am gonna try and work on getting better things to get gameplay and things like that up there and try to do that. But for right now, we're going commentary. We got the old school patch notes right in front of me. It is paper black and white. Oh yeah, we're throwing it back. But yes, Treyarch did release at 11 p.m. Pacific time on the 7th, 2 a.m. Eastern time on the 8th this morning, well last night, the patch notes for the pre-season 1 quality of life is what they're calling it, patch. And yeah, we're going to talk about it today. We're going to see what's going on and see what they got going on. I kind of read over it a little bit. There's a couple of things on here that are good changes. A lot of things are pertaining to core modes and Fireteam Dirty Bomb, things like that. They added a new game mode, so yeah, let's just get into it and see what's going on. So to start off, we got crash fixes. Now, I don't know if anybody else was experiencing anything. I know a lot of people on the Series X, or I think the Series S as well, were seeing a lot of game crashes, and pertaining to a lot of them were shutting down consoles. I don't have a Series X or a Series S as of yet. I do have a 1X, and I can say that it was happening to me a lot in the beginning. It hasn't so much the last couple of weeks. It happens every so often still, so we're going to have to try it out over the next week or so to see if the crash fixes related to ray tracing is what they're saying, at least for the Series X fixes that, and to see if they put a fix out for the last generation now, like the 1X and things like that, to see if they fix that. But they did put out something to fix the crashing a little bit on the Series X, and that's just great, because I mean, even me going through that, it's so annoying. You get to the main screen, all of a sudden it freezes, you're trying to figure out what's going on, and your console shuts off. And you're just like, now I gotta wait 5 minutes for it to start up again. At least I do with the last generation. So that is a good fix. Little thing with progression and things like that, considering with the prestige levels. If you ever noticed when you were looking in the top corner at your prestige emblem, it was a little sometimes different than what it should have been. Prestige 1, 2, or 3. There were a couple different emblems popping up there. That was something that they fixed, so that should be the correct emblem nowadays when you're going in there. I know it's not anything important, but it's a little thing if you're wondering what that emblem is. Just something that shouldn't have been there, and now it should be fixed. There's a couple of UI things that they fixed, like I said, quality of life, things like that. And yeah, now let's get into the meat and potatoes. We got multiplayer. We have a new playlist, Motherland Mosh Pit. Now, I myself am a hardcore player. I am not a TDM, I'm not a respawn guy. I mainly play hardcore search, and I love the zombies mode this year, so I've been playing that a lot. But I mainly play hardcore search, but they did add, for everybody who likes respawn modes, a Motherland Mosh Pit, which is TDM, Domination, Kill Confirmed, and a Hardpoint on Moscow and Crossroads Strike. 6v6. On those two 6v6 maps, Motherland Mosh Pit. Russia was the motherland back in that time, so you can kind of see where they got that from. And they also added a hardcore mode as well, if you like hardcore. And you can choose to play that in hardcore, so that is great. And this is available today up until December 16th, which is when Season 1 releases. So get your time in there, get your stuff going. If you like playing those two maps, definitely a playlist you should check out. They did say that they were not taking out Nuketown 24/7. I believe it's going to return as a playlist eventually. Nuketown is still in the rotation for the maps if you like playing it. I kind of do. Sometimes I kind of don't. Depends on who you're playing, I guess. bang. The big one for a lot of people that have been going on, not me personally, in multiplayer at least. I haven't seen any issues in zombies yet, but with the camo progression, I've seen a lot of people who are grinding for gold, for diamond, for dark matter ultra, having problems when they get to that point. It just doesn't track correctly at the end. They're missing 2 guns even though all their guns are gold, or all their guns are diamond and they don't get dark matter ultra. This seems to be something that has been fixed in this patch, which is good, because if I was grinding like that and I finished it and then it didn't give it to me, I'd be pretty pissed off myself. So for you guys out there that are camo grinders, check it out, see if you got that going on, and make sure that your camos are now good. That is big. That is big fix that they needed to do before Season 1. So that is awesome. In game modes, they adjusted spawns for Hardpoint. They adjusted spawns for Moscow. Hardpoint for Checkmate, Garrison, and Moscow. They adjusted spawns for all the Hardpoint spawns. In Control, they adjusted some spawns in Moscow, Miami, and Checkmate to make it a little quicker to get to objectives and make it a little easier for you guys to capture, which is great. In Fireteam Dirty Bomb, we got score streaks, reduced spawn rates of the gunship, chopper gunner, and VTOL escort. I never really dabbled into Fireteam Dirty Bomb, but I do watch a couple of videos, and you can see a lot of people get those higher end streaks a lot. So I think an adjustment to that was really good. So you're not always going up against somebody who has an attack helicopter or a chopper gunner or a gunship or a VTOL in the sky every 5 minutes. So that is great. Also, vehicles, they addressed an issue where the Hind could exit the playable space. I'm not sure if that was an actual thing that was really big. If it was, that sucks, because then people are getting out of places and possibly not dying from it. So that's a little cheap, but they fixed that. So that is great. In custom games, they added options in custom game score streak settings for score reset on death and score streak penalty. So they just added a couple of extra things into custom games so you can kind of make it a little better if you like playing custom games, things like that, want to get a bunch of people going, and things of that nature. And round-based modes, like search and what is it, a VIP escort, I think it was. They addressed an issue where players could be kicked for an activity while spectating somebody else, which that hasn't happened to me, but I'm sure it's probably happened to other people, and it probably is a little irritating, because if you get kicked from the game and you don't dashboard, you take the L. And for people who kind of watch their win-loss ratio, I do a little bit, that could suck. That's just adding an L to your win-loss that you don't want. So a fix there is big. Again, it hasn't happened to me, so anybody that it has happened to, you can rest assured, hopefully, that it won't happen to you again. With weapons, nothing too crazy when it comes to weapons. They didn't do any kind of adjustments that I know of. I know Treyarch, or at least Infinity Ward, was notorious for ghost patches, things that they don't tell us about. So when I get a little gameplay and I start feeling out what's going on, definitely will let you know and see if there's any changes to weapons that they didn't tell us about when it comes to damage, recoil patterns, things like that. But as far as right now, they didn't do anything big with weapons. They added polish to visual kickback when hip fire on weapons. I guess that would be the muzzle flash, possibly. Animation for the Hauer 77, launchers. This is also, yeah, okay. Launchers, an issue where launchers could lock onto stationary turrets and combined arms. I guess that was something that people were going with. And optics, they addressed an issue with the thermal scopes. So that is good if you like using a thermal. Hate going up against people with thermals, but hey, more power to you. I did it in Modern Warfare, not so much in Cold War right now. With score streaks, the care package. No longer damage teammates in hardcore if it explodes. Now, I don't know if that is a hacked care package, or is that something that I don't really run the care package too much in search. I usually run RCXD, spy plane, and sentry turret. It's actually not that bad to run, especially the sentry turret. It's always good to put down a kind of like a area denial on a bomb if you can get it out there. But they did address that, and they addressed an issue that can cause a care package to go through the roof in Checkmate. So it looks like if you're throwing down care packages that wasn't under one of the windows up top, it looks like it would just come through the roof, and they stopped that. Now you have to position it better under a window, or it's just going to get stuck on the roof. And you remember the days of vacant, things like that, when you were spawning on the other side, on the inside of the building, or other maps with buildings that you were spawning and you wanted to toss down a care package, you had to make sure it was above a window, or you had to get outside, which was always risky. So I guess that's better, so people have to be a little more smarter when it comes to dropping their care package. So that's great. With the combat bow, nothing crazy. They just addressed not the correct hit marker and visual sign that comes up when you're damaging somebody with tac mask. That's just kind of like quality of life. Cruise missile, nothing big, just address an issue where if you were shooting it or damage a cruise missile on the way down, it would not display a hit marker. Now you will. You're probably still going to die. Just saying, it's a cruise missile. The VTOL, nothing crazy there. Chopper gunner, the only adjustment that they made with that is on Crossroads Strike, the 6v6 map. If you got the chopper gunner, it would take a longer path around the map, like if you were playing the normal Crossroads 12v12 or the bigger map. It had a wider path because the map was bigger on Crossroads Strike. The chopper gunner was also following that path, which makes it hard sometimes because you're going so far out to see somebody. So they shortened the path, made sure it rotated around the smaller map. So that'll be good for you guys getting chopper gunners on Crossroads Strike in 6v6. With the maps, nothing too crazy on the Crossroads. Now you can deploy your parachute in applicable areas when you're jumping off things. Armada, same thing. And in Garrison, they addressed an issue where one of the explosive barrels that was supposed to blow up wasn't, and now it will. I don't know which one that is. The only one I ever shoot is if you play Search and Destroy, the red barrel behind B-Bomb, and that one always exploded. So there's another one out there that can explode, so watch your corners. See if anybody's aiming at a barrel to blow you up. Field upgrades. The trophy system now will destroy incoming trophy systems. So if you throw yours down, somebody's coming towards you, they throw one out, your trophy system will destroy that. And they addressed an issue where the trophy system occasionally would not destroy incoming projectiles, something that it would just miss, I guess. It wasn't registering that it was coming past it. They fixed that. Now it should be destroying every projectile that comes through, which is great, because I had that issue a couple times where I was chilling playing Search and I had a trophy system out and it got through. Luckily I run flak jacket, so it doesn't really matter too much, but you throw two of them and it doesn't register for two, you're dead. So that was crazy. The assault pack will now be destroyed if an enemy uses it. Now, I'm not sure if when it's destroyed it will explode like the ammo crate from Modern Warfare. I know if you shot that as an enemy it would explode, and if you were close enough it would kill you. I'm not sure this will do the same thing, but I know if they try to use it now, they can't. It will just destroy itself. And with the field mic, one thing was addressed where a player could earn double score. If putting two down in the same circumference area, you were getting double the score because you were seeing them twice. So that was fixed. They got some vehicle fixes when it comes to any game modes running vehicles. They got stability fixes for a crash that would occur when a player was by an explosive. Finishing moves. They cleaned up the animation, which is good because it was kind of ugly. I feel like, because I think I remember in the beta it wasn't there. Finishing moves weren't a thing if I remember correctly in the beta, or at least I didn't get behind somebody, I guess, enough to do one, but I did it a couple of times just to try it, and there were a lot of other people saying that finishing moves were not in the beta or the alpha that people got to play. So that was something that was added between then and the game release, which they probably didn't have a lot of time to do. I understand that it was a little glitchy, a little buggy, it wasn't the best visually, but they fixed it now, so hopefully that actually looks a lot better. Things like that, and nothing really but the audio, other than when a character's excerpt audio for a weapon melee could be delayed. I guess when you're elbowing, you don't hear anything, and then it does. That's nothing crazy, nothing with the footsteps. I do believe, and this is a little controversial, it was like this in BO4, and it's like this in this Treyarch game. Ninja, I get, is something to quiet your footsteps. But I still think people hear you too clearly when you're getting closer. I have been victim of that, and I've also been the person doing the killing of somebody with Ninja that I heard a lot further away than I probably should have. Now, granted, some of the maps don't make too much noise. If there's no shooting going on, you can hear pretty clearly anyway. But I still think I can hear people too far out. Too far out. Either I feel like lowering the footstep volume or adjusting Ninja to make it just a tad more quieter would be something good, so people aren't getting killed when they're having something that's supposed to be like you can get right on top of somebody before they actually hear you. I'm hearing people from 10, 15 meters out, and I think that's a little too far. But, let me know down in the comments if you don't think that's too far. If you think it's at the right place, just let me know. I would love to hear a discussion about it. Definitely. Now, on to zombies. Yes, I know this video is going to be a little long, but we're going through it. With zombies, they addressed an issue with the Trapper challenge. You get stuck at 255, which is good. That's a challenge that, if you want to do it, if you want to get all your challenges for zombies, that's great that they fixed it. They addressed an issue that caused incorrect mastery camo progression information to display. So, same thing. It looks like the tracking for zombies was having an issue, and they fixed that as well, which is great because if there's anything I'm grinding camo-wise, if there's anything I'm grinding camo-wise, it is zombies. Let's see. The knife combat record. The combat record for zombies was a little bugged. There was a couple stats that were in the wrong place. That looks like it was adjusted. And that is great. Killing blows will now register properly, which is awesome. And so on and so forth. On the Die Machina map specifically, we had various stability fixes, which is good. It was a little glitchy in some points. They did add new Season 1 intel, which I'm going to be interested in getting in there and trying to find out what the next steps in these zombies season and zombies year is going to be, because I'm definitely big time interested in knowing how that story is going to progress. So that is great. They closed some exploit areas. There's a couple areas on the map that you could exploit. I would imagine those are under the map glitches, the God mode glitches getting under the map. People who like to do that to get the high rounds, that might be closed. So I'm going to try to give it a shot and see what's going on. See if that's closed and see if we have to do it by the book, so to speak. They addressed an issue that sometimes causes zombies to get stuck inside a spawn location, which is great. I had that problem a couple times while playing, that they would just get stuck. They wouldn't jump out. You would have to go find them. And especially on exfils, I hope it doesn't say that they fix that, but with exfils, the zombies would just get lost sometimes, and you'd be running around trying to find them. So that is great. That went, weapons with zombies. It looks like there was a issue with incorrectly deducted ammo from the DIE Electro Bolt upgrade, and while using the Aether Shroud only, actually, that's what that says. So it looks like it was just incorrectly being deducted while you're in Aether Shroud trying to kill zombies with the Electro Bolt DIE upgrade. So that seems to be fixed if you were looking at that. Addressed an issue that caused the incorrect weapon rarity to appear for player's weapon after respawning. I haven't run into that at all, but it sounds like a good fix. Trials. Trials seems like addressed an issue that caused the take damage and recover health trial from granting process and recovering the bonus health granted by Juggernog. So it looks like if you had Jug, most people probably now have it upgraded to the tier you get to 250. It looks like if you were getting hit from 250 to 150, it wouldn't track toward your trial. When you had to take damage and recover, you had to get below 150 and then recover damage. It looks like now you'll be able to get one hit or two hit, not below 200, and you'll be able to get the progress for that. So that is great. I had that issue too. I remember going through it, and it was nuts because I had to be brought down to like 100 or 50 health for it to track. And regardless of what it is. If you're trying to get it as fast as possible and you have armor already, they're going to break that armor, and then you're going to run the risk of getting hit one too many times if you got more than 2 or 3 zombies chasing you down. So you could definitely go down by that, and that has happened to me. So that is a good fix. That is a good fix. Addressed an issue that prevented some weapons from appearing in the animation when using the mystery box. Now that's a small fix. I noticed that as well. When I hit the box, one weapon will pop, it'll go blank, and then it'll start cycling through and give me a weapon. It's a little thing, I guess, if you like seeing the weapons roll through to see what you might get. That's a good fix. I do like watching it sometimes because it's cool. If you see the ray gun pop, you know you have a better chance. I know in the beginning round, sometimes you don't see that ray gun pop up. Sometimes you don't see any guns pop up. In the later rounds, you kind of see it start rolling through a little more, so you know you have a better chance of getting it. So that's good. The main quest addressed a rare issue that would cause the main quest to stop progressing after decontamination step. That I haven't ran into, but if anybody has, that is a good update. That means this quest should be running as smoothly as it should be. So that is good. Audio, voiceover lines, nothing crazy. The UI, pause menu, nothing crazy. Dead Ops Arcade. Doesn't seem like it's the most popular thing. I know some people do play it. I've tried it out a couple of times. It's pretty fun. So they added a couple of fixes onto that, which is great. And moving on to Onslaught for the PlayStation. Now, I'm an Xbox guy. I don't like, and this is going to sound, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a hypocrite, I guess. Because Xbox had Call of Duty as an exclusive for years, and now that Sony has it, we're kind of getting mad at it. I'm kind of angry at it, but it was just the release dates of their stuff. We would get things earlier. They weren't exclusively giving us things that PlayStation or Sony wasn't getting. So at this point, with the exclusivity and adding game modes, I guess in Modern Warfare it really didn't matter. That whole mode in the Spec Ops part of the game really didn't matter to me. It wasn't something that I would have played probably anyway if we had it. Onslaught mode here, I've watched a couple of videos on it. It looks kind of fun, but nothing I'm too crazy. It's just this exclusivity. If you're going to give exclusivity, try to think of something different than modes. Because adding modes to both system, PC, Xbox, and PS5, PS4, and PlayStation, you know, that just adds variety to the game, and giving one type of console or one type of developer of a console an extra game mode for their players to play that we're not getting. I don't know. It's just, I feel like you're kind of dumbing down, even though it's not a big thing and not a lot of people enjoy it that I've been seeing. There's some enjoyment out of it, but not a lot of people are liking it. Still, you're taking away a bigger spectrum of things for people to do across the board, across the consoles and PC, to just give to one group. And it's just something I haven't been a fan of since they released. They started doing it last year. They do it in BO4. I know they had exclusivity in BO4, but I'm not sure they had a game mode. But yeah, that's something. Onslaught's got a couple of new things. There's new intel to discover for people on PlayStation and Onslaught. Pathing fixes for enemies. Not too sure what it is because I don't play on the PlayStation. And a couple of things there. Now with PC, again, another thing I don't play on, but it's they added crash fixes on PC, it looks like, as well. So that is good, and that seems to be all the things that just seem like it could be, you know, good to know about. Again, when it comes to this, also, we got double XP starting on the 12th of December, running up until December 16th, which is the release of Season 1. So anybody needing to get the level 100, anybody trying to upgrade their levels on their weapons, you're getting double XP, double weapon XP for 4 days, which is awesome, starting this weekend coming up, this Saturday. So that's good that they're implementing that, just to let you know. And yeah, the game in general, I like it. I like the zombies mode more than I like the multiplayer right now. I think the maps, I like a couple of the maps, but you got like Satellite and then Armada Strike, I think it's called, because it's a 6v6 map, not the whole big 3 ships, just the 1 ship. Miami's kind of campy. I mean, Treyarch's notorious for campy maps, head glitching spots, plenty of them. We all know that. But all in all, you start adding some stuff. I think Season 1 coming is going to be good for the multiplayer. It's going to be good for zombies. So I think this game is going to have a chance to pick itself up and do what it has to do to be a great Call of Duty, even though anybody's going to play it. It's Call of Duty comes out every year. Doesn't matter what they release. And yeah, that is what is going on with the patch notes from this morning. At least for me, I'm on the East Coast. And if there's anything else you guys would like to know about the game, please drop a comment in the bottom. A very long video, I know. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to go over just to talk about, let you guys know about if you haven't read the patch notes, if you haven't seen any other videos, which most of you probably have. But if not, thank you for stopping in to me to let you know about everything. And I appreciate it. Tomorrow, it looks like there's going to be, I forgot today that the Cowboys and the Ravens were playing. So tomorrow I will be uploading the NFL weekend review just to let you know scores, outcomes, what's going on, playoff stats, playoff standings. Season ended today. As you can tell, I'm an Eagles fan, so we'll be going over them. And we will continue that tomorrow. So again, I want to thank you all for coming in and checking this out. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye-bye.